Here's a calculation that will ruin your day. The average person spends 2,080 hours learning to drive, 10,000 hours becoming fluent in their native language, and 40,000 hours mastering their career. But here's the kicker. They spend exactly 0 hours learning how to be strategically terrible at things. This is why 87% of people quit their goals within the first month, why most startups fail, not from lack of funding, but from perfectionism paralysis, and why the most successful people in history share one counterintuitive trait. They were systematically bad at things before they were good. The real problem isn't that you're bad at things. The real problem is that you don't know how to be bad at things effectively. Today, I'm revealing the 12 scientific principles that turn strategic failure into inevitable success. This isn't feel-good motivation. This is the neuroscience, psychology, and behavioral economics of weaponizing your worst moments. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete system for transforming incompetence into expertise faster than you thought possible. Let's start with the most dangerous lie you've been told about success. Ready? Let's go. Section 1. The Perfectionism Trap. Your brain whispers, don't start until you're ready. Wait until you have all the information. Practice in secret until you're good enough to show the world. The most successful people start before they're ready and fail publicly, repeatedly, and strategically. Perfectionism isn't a standard. It's a prison that keeps you from the only thing that actually creates competence: volume of attempts. Think of perfectionism like trying to build muscle by imagining workouts. You can visualize the perfect form for months, but until you pick up actual weights and struggle with terrible technique, no muscle fiber grows. Your brain builds neural pathways through failure, not fantasy. The 24-hour rule. Whatever you're procrastinating on, commit to doing a deliberately terrible version within 24 hours. Write the bad first paragraph. Record the awkward practice video. Send the imperfect email. Set a timer for 15 minutes and produce something awful on purpose. Section 2. The Competence Paradox. You think, once I get good at this, I'll enjoy it. Once I'm competent, I'll be confident. I just need to push through the painful learning phase. Confidence doesn't come from competence. Competence comes from confidence in your ability to handle incompetence. The most skilled people aren't those who avoided failure, but those who developed the highest tolerance for feeling stupid. Learning is like building immunity. You don't get stronger by avoiding germs. You get stronger by exposing yourself to small, manageable doses of challenge that your system can adapt to. Every mistake is an inoculation against future failure. Allocate specific time daily for feeling stupid. Block 30 minutes on your calendar labeled Strategic Incompetence Time. Use it to attempt something you're genuinely bad at. Your tolerance for discomfort is a skill that compounds. Section 3. The Feedback Velocity Principle. Your internal voice says, I need to think this through more. Let me do more research. I'll get feedback when I'm further along. Speed of failure equals speed of learning. The faster you can generate bad attempts and receive corrective feedback, the faster you develop expertise. Most people optimize for quality of first attempt instead of velocity of iteration. Imagine learning to throw darts. You could spend months studying trajectory physics and analyzing professional techniques, or you could throw 1,000 terrible darts and let the dartboard teach you. The dartboard gives instant, honest feedback that no amount of theory can match. For any new skill, create your first attempt in under 2 hours. Show it to someone within 24 hours. Get specific feedback. Create version 2 within 48 hours. Repeat. Optimize for feedback frequency, not first attempt quality. Section 4. The Social Proof Reversal. You worry, what if people judge me? What if they think I don't know what I'm doing? I should wait until I'm better before putting myself out there. People respect struggle more than perfection. Showing your learning process creates stronger social proof than showing polished results. Vulnerability is magnetic. Perfection is forgettable. Consider 2 Instagram accounts. One shows only perfect sunset photos. Another shows the photographer's journey from terrible to beautiful shots with honest captions about failures. Which one has more engaged followers? The growth story always beats the highlight reel. The learning in public strategy. Document your failures as you go. Share your bad first attempts with the caption, Day 1 of Learning X. Update weekly with honest progress reports. Your audience will root for your improvement more than they'd notice your perfection. Section 5. The Neuroplasticity Hack. Your brain tells you, I'm just not built for this. Some people are naturally good at this stuff. I'm too old or too young or too inexperienced to get good at this. Your brain physically rewires itself every time you fail and try again. The struggle you feel during incompetence is literally your neurons forming new connections. Difficulty is not a bug in the learning process. It's the feature that triggers brain adaptation. Think of your brain like a GPS system. When you take a familiar route, the GPS stays quiet. But when you hit a roadblock or take a wrong turn, it immediately recalculates and learns new pathways. Your mistakes are the roadblocks that force your brain to build new neural highways. The struggle reframe. When you feel frustrated or incompetent, literally say out loud, my brain is building new pathways right now. Research shows that reframing struggle as growth activates the prefrontal cortex and accelerates learning by up to 40%. Section 6. The compound failure effect. You think, each failure means I'm getting worse. I should have learned this by now. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Failures compound like investments. Every mistake you make eliminates one wrong path and increases your probability of future success. What looks like regression is actually exponential progress in disguise. Imagine you're in a maze with 1,000 possible paths, but only one leads to the exit. Each wrong turn isn't wasted effort. It's valuable data that brings you closer to the solution. The person who's tried 500 wrong paths is actually 500 times more likely to find the right one than someone who's tried 0. The failure log. Keep a record of every mistake you make while learning something new. Write down what didn't work and why. After 30 days, review your log. You'll see patterns and realize you've eliminated hundreds of wrong approaches, making success statistically inevitable. Section 7. The attention residue principle. Your mind says, I should multitask and learn several things at once. I need to be well-rounded. I can't afford to focus on just one thing. Attention residue from scattered learning creates shallow incompetence instead of deep competence. The most successful people become strategically terrible at one thing at a time, rather than superficially bad at many things simultaneously. Learning multiple skills simultaneously is like trying to boil 5 pots of water with one flame. You can move the heat around, but none of the pots will ever reach a boil. Focus all your flame on one pot until it boils, then move to the next one. The single skill sprint. Choose one skill to be bad at for the next 30 days. Ignore everything else you want to learn. Dedicate 100% of your learning energy to systematic failure in this one area. After 30 days, you'll be shocked by your progress compared to scattered efforts. Section 8. The Impostor Syndrome Inversion. The voice in your head says, I feel like a fraud. Everyone else seems to know what they're doing. I don't belong here. Impostor syndrome is actually evidence that you're growing. The discomfort you feel means you're operating at the edge of your competence, exactly where learning happens fastest. People who never feel like imposters are people who never challenge themselves. Think of imposter syndrome like muscle soreness after a workout. The soreness isn't a sign you're weak, it's proof you pushed your muscles beyond their comfort zone and triggered growth. Mental discomfort works the same way. The imposter syndrome celebration. Every time you feel like you don't belong or don't know enough, write down, I'm feeling like an imposter because I'm growing beyond my current identity. Then immediately do one small thing to prove you belong in that space. Section 9, the Expertise Acceleration Model. You believe it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. I need to put in my time. There are no shortcuts to expertise. The 10,000-hour rule ignores the quality of practice. Strategic failure, deliberately practicing at the edge of your ability, can compress learning curves dramatically. You can achieve expert-level competence in months, not years, by optimizing for high-quality mistakes. Traditional learning is like lifting the same weight repeatedly until you can do it easily. Strategic failure is like always lifting slightly more weight than you can handle cleanly. Both approaches build strength, but one builds it exponentially faster. The 85% rule. Always practice at 85% of your maximum ability. If you're succeeding more than 85% of the time, increase the difficulty. If you're succeeding less than 85% of the time, decrease it. This zone maximizes learning velocity while maintaining motivation. Section 10. The Identity Shift Protocol. Your internal narrative runs, "I'm not the type of person who's good at this. This isn't who I am. I should stick to what I know." Your identity follows your actions, not the other way around. Every time you attempt something and fail, you're not confirming you're bad at it. You're becoming the type of person who tries difficult things. Identity is earned through behavior, not granted by talent. Think of identity like a path through a forest. The more times you walk the same path, the more defined it becomes. Every attempt, successful or failed, is another step that makes the "I am someone who does this" path more solid and easier to follow. The Identity Evidence File. Create a document titled Evidence I Am Becoming Your Goal Identity. Every time you attempt something related to your goal, regardless of the outcome, add it to the list. Day 12. Wrote terrible first chapter. Day 15. Got rejected by client but asked for feedback. Watch your identity shift through accumulated evidence. Section 11. The Strategic Quitting Framework. You think, "Quitters never win. I should never give up. Persistence is the most important trait for success." Strategic quitting is more valuable than blind persistence. The most successful people quit the wrong things quickly to double down on the right things. Knowing when to quit a failing approach is just as important as knowing when to persist through difficult phases. Think of learning like venture capital. A good VC doesn't stick with every investment. They cut losses quickly on failing ventures to redirect resources to promising ones. Your time and energy are investments that should be allocated strategically, not sentimentally. The quit or commit decision matrix. Every 30 days, evaluate your learning project on 2 dimensions, progress rate and passion level. High progress plus high passion, continue. Low progress plus high passion, adjust approach. High progress plus low passion, consider pivot. Low progress, low passion, quit strategically and redirect energy. Section 12, the Mastery Mindset Installation. Your final mental barrier. Once I master this, I'll be done. I just need to get good enough to stop worrying about improvement. True masters never stop being bad at things. They just get bad at increasingly sophisticated levels. Mastery isn't a destination where incompetence ends. It's a mindset where incompetence becomes fuel for continuous growth. Think of mastery like climbing mountains. Beginners see one small hill and think reaching the top means they've conquered all peaks. Masters know that every summit reveals higher mountains they've never seen. The better you get, the more you realize how much more there is to learn. The beginner's mind reset. Every time you achieve competence in something, immediately identify one aspect of that skill where you're still terrible. Dedicate 20% of your practice time to being deliberately bad at this new edge. This prevents competence from becoming complacency. Success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about systematically optimizing your relationship with incompetence. The 12 principles we've covered aren't separate techniques. They're interconnected elements of a single system that transforms your worst moments into your greatest advantages. Your perfectionism becomes strategic iteration. Your impostor syndrome becomes evidence of growth. Your failures become compound investments in future success. Your identity becomes proof of your persistence rather than a prison of your past. The science is clear. People who embrace strategic failure don't just succeed faster, they succeed in ways that others can't even see as possible. Here's your mission. Pick one thing you've been procrastinating on because you're not ready. Right now, before this video ends, commit to producing a deliberately terrible version of it within the next 24 hours. Document the process. Share it if you're brave enough.
Remember, your next failure isn't evidence that you're not cut out for this. It's proof that you're becoming the type of person who is. If this framework shifted how you think about failure, smash that like button and subscribe for more counterintuitive strategies that actually work. Your future successful self will thank you for the terrible things you're about to do. Now, go be strategically terrible at something important.